Miliband.
Well, the whole House will have heard the Prime Minister has dug himself in on this proposal to cut by 10% the help that people receive with rent after they've been out of work for a year. Can I now ask the Prime Minister, because he will have obviously thought about this, what advice would he give to that family that is seeing 10% of their income for housing benefit taken away? What advice would he give them when they're seeing such a large drop in their income about how they should make ends meet?
We will be having in the work programme the best and biggest programme to help those people back into work. And it won't just be the state doing it. We're going to get training companies, we're going to get voluntary bodies to help those people into work. Let me just give, because I know the right-on gentleman likes figures, let me give him the figures for London. Let me give you the figures for London. There are 37,390 people who've been on job seekers allowance for more than a year. Those people would be affected by this change. I accept that. It is difficult. There are, every month, 30,000 new vacancies in London. That is 400,000 vacancies a year. We want to get those people back into work. What does he want to do?
Miliband.
He's about to make 500,000 people redundant as a result of the cut announced by the Chancellor of the Exchequer. It's clear, Mr. Speaker, that his policy on housing benefit is a complete shambles. In London alone, he talks about London. In London alone, councils are saying 82,000 people will lose their homes. They're already booking the bed and breakfast accommodation. How many people, let me ask the Prime Minister, how many people does he think will lose their homes as a result of this policy?
If you are prepared to give, I will answer. If you are, as we are, prepared to pay £20,000 in housing benefit, there is no reason why anyone should be left without a home. No. The Leader of the Opposition talked about economic policy and cuts. We now know from the Labour Party's own memorandum what their cuts would be. This is what they said. This is not the IFS. This is not the government. This is not the Conservative Party. This is a Labour memorandum. The cuts...
Order, I apologise for interrupting the Prime Minister. Members must remain calm. If not serene, at any rate calm at all times. We must hear the Prime Minister.
People responsible for making the mess should be quiet when they're told how it's going to be cleared up. The cuts implied by our spending plans would have been £44 billion in 2014-15. Those are the cuts. That is what we are having to implement. I was always told, if you've got nothing to say, it'd be better not to say it.
Miliband.
Mr. Speaker, we can see the faces on the Liberal Democrat benches. The Honourable Member for Southwark and Bermondsey describes this policy as harsh and draconian. No wonder he looks glum. And then we have Glummer, the Deputy Prime Minister. I tell you, it's no wonder he's back on the fags, Mr. Speaker. Now, isn't the truth the Prime Minister just doesn't get it? He's out of touch. Other people will pay the price for his cuts. Isn't it time he thought again on housing benefit?
We all had the chance to read about it in the Times this morning, the advice to the Leader of the Opposition. It's important to have a cheer line that goes down well in the chamber. You've got to have something that will be clipped easily by the broadcasters. It's important. It's important to get to your feet, looking as if you're seizing on something new. Mr. Speaker, he's got a plan for Prime Minister's questions, but he's got no plan for the economy, no plan for the debt, no plan for the mess they made. Absolutely nothing of any worthwhile to say. That is it.